Giving all praises and honor and glory to Yahawah, BAHASHAM, YAHAWASHI, BAHASHAM, QADASH. Double honors to the elders and the apostles who rule well and teach well. Salutations to the hopeful elect and the man out there laboring in truth and sincerity, and the Akwath out there in order. Shalom. In this video, I want to talk about the representation and symbolism of the sun, moon, and stars. Okay, so we're gonna lay a solid foundation, which is this word, using the word, so you won't be swayed by the winds of false philosophies, and flooded by thoughts of doubt. Okay, so this is the first verse, Job 11, and that he would show thee the secrets of wisdom, which they are double to that which is. Knoweth therefore that God exacteth of thee less than thine iniquity deserveth. All right, so paying attention to the first sentence, you show the secrets of wisdom that they are double to that which is. This book, the scriptures, is very parabolic. It's a lot of similitudes. It's a lot of parables. It's a lot of dark speeches, a lot of dark sayings. There's a lot of things that are double-fold, multifold, etc., etc. So you can read something and take it in a literal sense, and then you can also apply it to the spirit, and then you can also apply it to, you know, other forms of analogies, which they're all wisdom. Okay, they're all the fruit of wisdom. All right, so moving on, this is Hosea chapter 12 and verse 10. It says, I have also spoken by the prophets, and I have multiplied visions and used similitudes by the ministry of the prophets. Okay, in the New King James Version, it says, I have given symbols through the witness of the prophets. Okay, so a lot of scripture has double meaning, and even then you can still see multiple symbols. All right, which is what I'm going to go into, the symbolism of the sun, moon, and stars within scripture, because it's used, depending on the context, it's used in a way to show forth light. Basically, we know that sun, moon, and stars, they emanate light. But anyway, moving on, I'm gonna get to that in a bit. This is gonna be Psalms. Matter of fact, I'm gonna just get straight into it. So I know Psalms 147 and 5 talks about, it says, great is our Lord, and of great power his understanding is infinite. All right, so when you read these scriptures and you've laid the foundation, you get the understanding precept upon precept, line upon line, and you read in the context, it gets pretty simple, you know. All right, so we're gonna talk about the facets or the similitudes of the sun, moon, and stars. And one way it could represent being exalted in rulership as kings or gods, which is, you know, a people exalted in a heavenly state that govern the world in their prosperity and have influence to set standards and push forward their wisdom. An example, you got the Order of the Illuminati, or the global elite, which are, you know, the wicked plutocrats. The wicked plutocrats. Plutocracy. Okay. And we know Job 9 and 24 talks about the earth is given into the hands of the wicked. Okay. So right now the wicked is ruling the world. Okay. And another way the sun, moon, and stars, and it's being darkened in the scriptures, because, you know, a lot of times in the scriptures it's described as being darkened, but it's also to that notion is to exemplify a dark and evil time, wickedness and despair and mourning and lamentations and woe and hell and tribulation. no prosperity, and only hopelessness. Okay. In the third way, the sun, moon, and stars can represent a light to the people as a truth or prosperity, influence, affluence, wealth, comfort, some great amount of wisdom, a high knowledge and brilliant understanding, because without it, only darkness engulfs the world with major confusion, and you left confounded and dim-witted. All right. So of course we know by nature the sun, moon, and stars, they keep by their ordinance, they are to emanate light as luminaries. This is the decree that the Lord Yahawah, BAHASHAM, YAHAWASHI gave within the first chapter of Genesis 1. I believe Genesis 1 and 14, somewhere around there. But yeah, it's the light is for, the day and the night. All right, so let's go to Psalms 136 real quick. And this is going to be pretty comprehensive. I'm trying to do it in which I leave no stone unturned. Okay, so this is 136, Psalms 136, verse 5. It says, to him that by wisdom made the heavens, for his mercy endureth forever. Okay, so pay attention to by wisdom he made the heavens. All right, reading on. It says, to him that stretched out the earth above the waters, for his mercy endureth forever. To him that made great lights, for his mercy endureth forever. The sun to rule by day, for his mercy endureth forever. The moon and stars to rule by night, for his mercy endureth forever. Okay, so this is proof that not only do the great lights emanate light, but emanate wisdom. Seeing that the heavens were formed by wisdom. The sun, moon, and stars are also a similitude for rulership, like I said before. And they are great. It says to him made the great lights. They're great as in importance and power, which signifies a radiance of preeminence. Okay. So these characteristics are parabolic and figuratively likened to man and his rulership on earth. Okay, which is the first symbolism that I'm going to go into. And we're going to start in Isaiah chapter 24 and verse 23. It says, the moon shall be confounded. Then the moon shall be confounded, and the sun ashamed, when the Lord of hosts shall reign in Mount Zion and in Jerusalem, and before his ancients gloriously. All right. So in context with the chapter, the moon, like if you go up one, it talks about, in 21, it talks about the punishment of the high ones that are on high. So in context with the chapter, the moon and the sun are luminaries, right, which represent the gods in the heavens, or figuratively, of course, the host of the high ones that are on high, which are the kings of the earth. All right, upon the earth, which are the high ones or elite rulers of this world, in loftiest state of power. Okay. And this verse is speaking of like I said, the elite being removed from the power seat of a God, and in place, the true light ruling the government of Yasharallah over the earth, which is Yahawashi. So the wicked rulers are no longer going to be able to shine their corrupt light, and will be ashamed and in utter confusion into outer darkness and obscurity. That's why the moon and their sun shall be confounded, because that represents their wisdom and their knowledge. Okay, all these things are associated with the wicked being confounded, which is to be dim-witted. Okay, And when you in a lit room with many people, a lot of people, and the power randomly goes out, it causes a lot of perplexity and confusion, right? Such as Job 18:5. Matter of fact, let's go to it real quick. It says, yeah, the light of the wicked shall be put out, and the spark of his fire shall not shine. And we go to 18, it says, he shall be driven from light into darkness and chased out of the world. All right, so these elite rulers, these wicked rulers, these plutocrats are going to be chased out of the world. All right, so let's look at the response. Let's go to, I want to respond to it also to Isaiah 24:23 with Wisdom of Solomon. All right, this is Wisdom of Solomon 18, verse 4. It says, for they were worthy to be deprived of light and imprisoned in darkness, and who had kept your sons shut up, by whom the uncorrupt light of the law was to be given unto the world. All right, this is speaking specifically on the account of Egypt, the Pharaoh, and their power was deprived of that light, right? They pretty much, they embody that esoteric knowledge or light of this world, which is its darkness, all right, which is so-called elites, global elite, all right? So eventually the wicked, like I said, will be cut off like a light, all right? Like Job 18:5, the light of the wicked shall be put out, and the spark of his fire shall not shine, all right? So in his shame, right, he's going to be exterminated. All right. So yeah, that's why he's getting chased out the world. That's being exterminated. He's going to be completely wiped out. All right. Eventually. All right, let's go to 2 Corinthians. All right, 2 Corinthians 10:5. It says, casting down imaginations and every high thing that exalteth itself against the knowledge of God, and bringing into captivity every thought to the obedience of Hamashiach. Okay, the wicked have caused follies to be set in great dignity as the light of the world, with their pseudoscience and lies that are against the truth and the knowledge of the Bible, including their ideologies and false doctrines, which are far from righteousness and promote wickedness and ignorance, which is darkness. Okay. John D. Rockefeller, there's a quote that some say it's not confirmed, or it just is a rumored quote. But basically the quote goes like this. It says, I don't want a nation of thinkers, I want a nation of workers. Right, and this quote is often attributed to John D. Rockefeller, which is one of those industrialists who got really, really rich, right, and basically a plutocrat, and he has pull, in the world. He's done had an impact on a lot of the private sectors and corporations and industries that shaped this whole world. As far as I believe the education system, if I'm not mistaken, and I think he dealt with oil and with the petrochemicals, with the pharmaceutical companies and so on and so forth. It's deep, but I don't want to get off task. So I'm gonna give an example of their light. I'm gonna give some examples, like this is part of their light or their counsel, because that counsel and that light and wisdom is all the same. All right. So the education system, right? What do? They suppress the true history and reform your mind through controlled curriculums. They're not going to teach you everything that you need to know, like about life. And really, the education system is a form of controlling what the masses should learn, because you don't really learn the true histories, right? They kind of like give a summary of certain things, or they just don't tell the whole truth. All right. So science, right? Their science means to know, so it's dealing with knowledge. So their science is all about trusting the science. Whatever their science is, whatever they say is the truth, or the knowledge to be exalted, that's pretty much what is exalted in this world. But if their science was so good and well, then there wouldn't be so much wickedness on the earth. All right. Democracy and the structure of their political system, liberalism, weather machines, CERN, artificial intelligence, technocracies, genetic engineering, genetically modified organisms, consumerism and capitalism, sustainable development, which is dealing with controlling resources, digital currency, transhumanism, feminism, pharmaceutical medicine, right? So they're physicians of no value. Pharmakia actually means sorcery. All right, so they use petrochemicals. These things don't really heal you. That this is supposed to be, the light is supposed to heal you, right? But those petrochemicals and all the other inhibitors within these medicines actually don't fix the problem. They just keep it at bay and cause you to constantly have to keep taking it over and over again. So it's not they don't want to heal you. They just want to capitalize off of you and kill you slowly. All right. And this is a part of their light. All right. Cigarettes. Right. How they going to have, they're hypocrites. How you going to have the health industries and you allow cigarettes to be sold because, they really don't want people to be healed. If this was such a, if their light was, the best beacon of hope, and cigarettes wouldn't be a thing to be sold. That's is unhealthy. It's not going to be for the well-being of humans, right? It's poison. They put over 6,000, 7,000 chemicals within cigarettes. This is a part of their light. You got the alphabet agenda, right? The once closeted freaks. You got so-called gender equality. That's making everything all out of order. You got women usurping authority over men. You got women in places where they're not supposed to be over men. This is all out of order. This is a part of their light, right? That employee equal opportunity employment, right? You may look at that and be like, oh, that's a good thing. But, it seems that way because light usually is something that's, it shines, it attracts people, You got these puberty blockers. This is one of those things that has been, more so pushed forward as an agenda, through our society, through specifically Babylon the Great, right? You got people allowing their children to basically disrupt the natural order that the Most High set in place for man to grow and be fruitful on the earth, but they want people to be infertile. They want people to be deleted off the earth. They want people to be completely in the dark. Okay, so this is their light, right? Alarm clocks, right? That's a thing that you're not going to have in the kingdom of heaven, right? Having to wake up to an alarm clock, that's not really a natural thing. It may seem like natural because we're used to it, right? Because we've been put in this system to have to wake up at a certain time, go to work at a certain time, and that's not the way life is supposed to be lived. You got concrete everywhere, right? These things cause wear and tear on the body, these concrete jungles, the cities, right? They cause noise pollution, environmental stress, physiological disruptions. It just basically lowers the vibration of life itself. In order to really feel nature, you gotta go outside of you gotta go to the country or something. But anyway, you got the baby deletion clinics, right? We know what that is. You got dating apps. You got virtual reality. They seem cool, but ultimately it's just to lure you away. It's very subtle, like the way this serpent, in his light is very subtle, and it pulls you away from, the order in which the Most High set in place on earth for man to be in order, for everything to prosper. You got Hollywood, and what else? You got the music industry, right? We know how they get down, and this is what people are influenced by. This is a form of light, right? These media corporations, that pretty much control that programming on your TV. All right, streaming services, binge watching, but all of these mention ideologies, technologies, systems, and industries are the light that guide the Western civilization. And of course, the Western civilization has spread their light across the world. And this light is opposed to the true light, which is the way of YAHAWASHI, HaMashiach. This lawless light has affected the minds of their subordinates and captivated souls to think that their knowledge and vain imaginations are above the scriptures, the knowledge of God, and the way of life which is to be lived. All right, so this goes, all of these things that I named, all of those ideologies, technologies, systems, and industries, they're against the knowledge of the Most High and the way of life. All right, so they basically crucified YAHAWASHI and forwarded their algorithm in this place called spiritual Sodom and Egypt by Xing out the truth and the way, which figuratively means to extinguish righteousness. And righteousness is made offensive, and wickedness is in style here, especially in Babylon the Great. You get rewarded for being wicked, and for being righteous. People look at you like it's offensive, and you're a bigot, and you are causing disturbing peace and disturbing the civil rights of the alphabet community, whatever. They get heralded for their they get rewarded for their wickedness. I'll just say that. All right, so let's go. So speaking on, righteousness being made offensive, right? And they're Xing out YAHAWASHI. Let's go to Revelation 11 just to show. It says, "And their dead bodies shall lie in the street of the great city, which spiritually is called Sodom and Egypt, where our Lord was crucified." All right. So of course the dead bodies, okay, represent the spiritually dead, Israelites coming back up, like Lazarus, and waking up and testifying against this wicked kingdom. But it's talking about Sodom and Egypt. We already know why it's called Sodom here. In Egypt, it's pretty much the same structure. And Pharaoh, the president is the Pharaoh, basically. All right. But yeah, so in like manner as the wicked is to be put out by the true light and bright and morning star YAHAWASHI, so are these lies and vain imaginations being casted down with the help of the Holy Spirit of truth, pursuant to what we read in 2 Corinthians chapter 10, verse 5, casting down those imaginations, right? And everything that exalted itself against the knowledge of God, every high thing. So these are proud things. All of these, feminism, that's a proud thing. Liberalism, artificial intelligence, that's a proud thing. All right. And the more you use those things, the more you become dependent, like artificial intelligence. Of course, it's gonna be a part of this future technocracy. But let me move on. So we know light in a dark world, it gives hope. And it's associated with prosperity. Light is associated with truth and something that guides you. Darkness brings gloominess and misfortune and wickedness. In the light, you can see the truth. In the dark, people can perform wickedness, right? This is why YAHAWASHI was crucified in spiritual Sodom and Egypt, because his conversation or his manner of life is against the current system, which encourages wickedness. All right. John 3, verse 19. It says, "And this is the condemnation, that light is come into the world, and men love darkness rather than light, because their deeds were evil." All right. It says, "For everyone that doeth evil hateth the light, neither cometh to the light, lest his deeds should be reproved." And people, they rather stay in their darkness, and that's why they hate the light, which is YAHAWASHI, and which is why they continuously X him out, and they have crucified him over here in spiritual Sodom and Egypt. So without the light, wickedness has a way to flourish. Darkness also breeds despair and panic. In this captivity, we have witnessed, I'm speaking specifically about, Israelites being in captivity. We have witnessed darkness and now understand that we need the true light, which is, the law, statutes, and commandments, to actually flourish, to get the world back in order and back to paradise, instead of a concrete jungle that has limited shock absorption. Like, these things are bad on your knees. Air pollution, noise pollution, like I said, environmental stress that leads to other health-related issues. All right. All right, let's go on, move on. This is Isaiah 13, verse 10. It says, "For the stars of heaven and the constellations thereof shall not give their light. The sun shall be darkened in his going forth, and the moon shall not cause her light to shine." All right, so this is referencing, Isaiah 24, verse 21. Matter of fact, let's just get to it. 24 and 21. Isaiah 24 and 21. It says, and it shall come to pass in that day that the Lord shall punish the host of the high ones that are on high, and the kings of the earth upon the earth. This is, pretty much what I read in the beginning. But let's go back. Isaiah 13 and 11, it says, and I will punish the world for their evil and the wicked for their iniquity, and I will cause the arrogancy of the proud to cease, right? And will lay low the haughtiness of the terrible. So that's bringing down the proud, casting down the proud, all right, to a low estate. All right, so the wicked will no longer shine, and their kingdom will be brought to destruction, right? This kingdom, the Esau, Edom, right? The colonizers. All right, the wicked will no longer shine, and the kingdom will be brought to destruction, bringing the pride of the high ones into obscurity, right? Light is supposed to be truth, but the wicked's corrupt light will no longer shine, so no longer will they attract prosperity, and only suffer the indignation of Yahawah, BAHASHAM, YAHAWASHI. Yeah, the light of the wicked shall be put out, and the spark of his fire shall not shine. So not only is the sun, moon, and stars being dark in me an evil time and time for judgment, but the Lord is going to figuratively shake the heavens, signifying the end of the wicked elite rulership with their perverted light. So their perverted light, which is all of the things I named about, such as the genetically modified organisms. You got seedless grapes. You got organic seedless grapes. How does that doesn't even make sense? How can something be organic? And they change the meaning of words, right? So this is what we're living in. This is the society, the world that we're living in, based on their so-called council. All right, so let's see this testimony in Job 20. Job. Let's see the testimony, because we know that he's going to be stumped out. His little flame, his little light is going to get stamped out. All right, this is Job 20, verse 5. Starting at 4. It says, knowest thou not this of old, since man was placed upon the earth, that the triumphing of the wicked is short, and the joy of the hypocrite but for a moment? Remember I just said this man is a hypocrite. All right, he got selling cigarettes to the world, and also supposedly healing you with these medicines and these these needles, right, filled with God knows what. All right, it says, verse 6, though his excellency mount up to the heavens, and his head reach into the clouds, yet he shall perish forever like his own dung. They which have seen him shall say, where is he? All right, so excellency, right, means in this context loftiness, of pride, but is also a title given to certain high officials of governments as an aristocracy, right? The nobles, the high people, the elites, right? Specifically in this one, it's talking about the wicked. So the wicked elites, right? They may shine now, they may got the lights, so-called, and they may be so-called to this world brilliant, which is also a form of a light shining. But they also may be to this world brilliant, a brilliant man since his age of enlightenment, where they look at philosophies contrary to the true doctrine as the Lucifer, or bearer of light. And Lucifer just means morning star or bearer of light. It's a Latin word, okay? So y'all please don't get bugged out over the name or the title, the word Lucifer, right? All right. He may be exalted in pride, figuratively to the clouds of heaven, to spread out his rays of nefarious light, but he will soon be brought down to nothing short of dog shit that you may have accidentally stepped on and you rush to go rinse it away clean. So this is how he will perish, the circling the drain as if he getting flushed. All right. So, you step in some dog feces, you're like, oh crap, you kind of walking around with a limp, you don't want to keep smushing it down, and you try to go hurry up and like stump it out in the grass, in the wet grass or something, or rinse it off quickly just so you won't have that stinky, funky smell, on your person, right? This is the way, he's going to be eradicated, flushed out, rinsed off. Let's go to Isaiah. Isaiah 47, verse 10. All right, so pay attention. It says, for thou hast trusted in your wickedness, thou hast said, none seeth me, your wisdom and your knowledge, it hath perverted thee. And thou hast said in your heart, I am, and none else beside me. Therefore shall evil come upon thee, thou shalt not know from where it riseth, and mischief shall fall upon thee, thou shalt not be able to put it off, and desolation shall come upon thee suddenly, which thou shalt not know. It says, stand now with your enchantments, with the multitude of your sorceries, wherein you have labored from your youth. If so be thou shalt be able to profit, if so be thou mayest prevail. All right. It says, thou art wearied in the multitude of your counsels. Let now the astrologers, the stargazers, the monthly prognosticators stand up and save thee from these things that shall come upon thee. All right, so their counsel, this is talking about the counsel of the wicked, right? Their counsel is from the left-hand priesthood, which is where their knowledge and wisdom and, understanding comes from. And what they vainly imagined gave them power to usurp authority and power over the creation of YAHAWAH BAHASHAM. Like, he created these people, but they feel like they have enough wisdom and knowledge to usurp authority, right, over the creation. Their wisdom and knowledge have perverted them, obviously. We know with that high pride, as high as the sun and moon, okay? To believe that they can counter a power that created them. Their wisdom and knowledge have warped their mind for them to say in their heart that I am, and there is no one else beside me. How proud do you gotta be? This is who is ruling this earth right now. This is who is running the show, managing, the affairs of life on the planet, with the animals, the resources, the people, as we know it. Right? All right, so let's go to Job 18. Right? Because even though he's he feels like he's the man right now, his counsel is gonna come to naught. There's no counsel against the Lord. All right, this is Job 18:7. It says, the steps of his strength shall be straightened, and his own counsel shall cast him down. All right, so this is a prophetic warning against the wicked and his light. Straighten means like his strength shall be straight, meaning is he gonna be put in a difficult place. All right, his strength and his sorceries. His strength is his sorceries, and in the multitude of his councils. An example, you got the Club of Rome, the Council of Foreign Relations. You got the World Economic Forum. You got the WHO, which is the World Health Organization. You got the G20 summits. You got all of these multitude of councils. You got the Bilderberg Group. You got the United Nations. You got the Trilateral Commission. It's so many of them. These are all of their think tanks. All right. But they in these think tanks, they think of ways to control the population, control the resources, and rule the world, really, and to cut off the true Israelites from being a nation, to cut them off from the birthright, right? But we know it's futile. I'll just say that. Futile. These things that they're doing, have no, they're doing it in vain. All right, so this is Proverbs. Matter of fact, I'm gonna go to Proverbs 19. Proverbs 19, verse 21. It says, there are many devices in a man's heart. Nevertheless, the counsel of the Lord, that shall stand. So the counsel of Yahawah BAHASHAM YAHAWASHI, he's already written it, everything. So it's gonna play out how it play out, and they're just playing right into his hands. All right, this is Proverbs 21, verse 30. It says, there is no wisdom, nor understanding, nor counsel against Yahawah BAHASHAM YAHAWASHI. And I'm gonna end it off right there, and I'm gonna probably start another one later, so stay tuned. I want to give all praise and honor and glory to Yahawah BAHASHAM YAHAWASHI. Shalom.